still some wild out there. Those grayed out sections on maps that map makers haven't gotten to yet. Places where cell service and calendar reminders don't exist. But you have to get out there and look for it. And to look for it, you need something that's just as wild as the wild. You need something that can look adventure in the eye and give it a firm handshake. Something built with the toughness of an F-Series and the spirit of a Mustang. Something that's not happy until it takes you through whatever creek or snow or mud or mountain trail or dune or logging road or landmark with death in its name. You need a Bronco.
What is going on, everybody? It's your buddy Dave here. And yeah, welcome to Bronco Talk Live in a presentation here. We're going to do something different today. We're going to kind of WTF this one. And I don't know if the sound was working on that. And it's kind of pissing me off, to be honest. If it wasn't yet, it looks like the sound was working. So I want to get back to that. I want to finish that up because I think it's important to what we're going to talk about today. So it does say share audio. So we will get right back to this because this is super important. And if you want to go to Coons there, you can do that. So the launch video of the Ford Bronco. What is going on? And happy Saturday. This is a different show for us, but as you can see, no Kelly because she knew I was going to fuss, and Kelly didn't want to be a part of this. But I want to get in today. I've seen enough. I gave this news. You know, we broke the news that how it was going to happen. I know there was a lot of speculation before we broke the news, and then we broke the news that Ford basically has given up. Not on the Bronco in general, but they've given up on certain things, and it's understandable. You know, I feel like I'm an apologist at times, but then there's times where they deserve to be smacked around a little bit. And I think we're going to take a look at why this mess, how we've gotten to this mess, and where I feel like we can get to this mess. And if you've been impacted by this mess, I'm curious. I want let me know in the comments. Let me know what's going on with your order. I would love to talk to you about it if possible. But it is what it is. I mean, clearly we all do not run these multi-billion-dollar companies, so I guess I should say trillion-dollar companies. But there's a couple things that I do feel like that Ford could have done better, and I mean a lot better. And I think there's a lot of people here that feel the same way. John, what is up, buddy? Happy to say he's got his scheduling for 110. Or got his scheduling on 110, scheduled for 227, man. It's you know, get a little close to D-Day, as it were, but looks like you snuck right in there, John. I'm very happy for you, man. Nurse AJ's in the house, Cigar Texan. We got all the morning people are in here, the morning crew, as it were. And guys, you know the drill. If you'll smash like for me, I would greatly appreciate that. All it does is let's the old YouTube share this out a little bit better. Let's people that like Ford Bronco content. It says, hey, if you're new to, you know, you're searching it, you might find me that way. So anyways, I want to play another video because I think this is I think it's kind of par for the course with where Ford is at with this. So let me load this one up, and I'm just trying to set the tone here. If you can't tell, I want to set the tone of what I'm just kind of pissed off about for you guys. You know, I've got my Bronco. I've said many times I feel I feel lucky to have gotten my Bronco because the only thing we really changed, we went to a bigger model and I went to soft top. And so I sometimes feel guilty about it, even though, you know, I was day 3 and I know there's still some early reservation holders who have not gotten theirs yet. But let's play this because this is part of our friend Shelby Hall's driving this. Oh man, let's pause this right there. Let's just pause this right there. There is part one of their problems because if you guys remember, they launched the Bronco, and we're going to get into that. I showed you the launch video a little bit, and you can see it wasn't until December. So they launched this thing July, I believe, July 16th, so June. The days I've lost them the days anymore, but somewhere June, July. And we saw the thing instantly after they launched it. They're doing the Rubicon, they're going to Moab, and it was brilliant PR for them to show, hey, yeah, we showed you a cool video, but here you're getting to see video of this thing actually doing it. We don't care if we beat the piss out of this thing. And they did, when they went to the Rubicon, they I don't know who was driving the vehicles, but I would say they're obviously the Bronco team that was doing it. But then our good buddies over at Bronco Nation somehow sprung up and instantly started having all these inside videos and they're very cool that Ford, you guys know my belief on it that it's just a PR firm of Ford. They do their job, they do it well. They talk pretty much positive about the Bronco as they should if they're that, but they do show every once in a while some things. But they kicked in a forum, everybody got excited about it. Then there's old Bronco 6G over there who, I'm a part of. Generally, if we launch a video over there, they delete it real quick for whatever reason. I have no idea. Trust me, my audience over here on YouTube is much larger than my audience would be over there. But I just like to share my opinions and things that we're doing with our Bronco over there. And for whatever reason, old Bronco 6G likes to delete it. But all these things are coming together, man. It's like a hit for Ford. They're it's like conception, and then it just the cells keep multiplying, and the Bronco excitement was just building. And by December, this thing, let me get another picture of this thing right here. This thing, they started teasing this. Oh, Mike Levine over there, Ford's top PR guy, was started teasing photos of this thing all jumping something, and people knew exactly what it was. And there was already, by this time, there was confusion, but things were in motion. They trust me, they didn't just launch a Bronco and like go, shit, how many models were we doing? These things were in motion probably at least a year or so before the launch video. And even the Raptor, this thing was in motion. This wasn't something that they just by December was like, oh, let's start testing, what if we could build this? No. These are because I've talked about it many times. In the manufacturing process, there's contracts to be had for manufacturing. Ford's an assembler. They stamp things and they assemble things, but they do not build all the parts to this vehicle. So there's certain target numbers that they Ford says, okay, for 2021, we're going to sell or buy this many parts from you. For 22, we expect this many, and so on. So, we had this nasty pandemic happen right at launch. And probably the smartest thing for Ford at the time would have been to postpone the launch. Now, they did postpone it once for good old O.J. Simpson's birthday, which was I know people like rag them about that, but who keeps up with OJ Simpson's birthday? Like, who cares about that? But yeah, there was some funniness to it, and in my opinion, they instantly knew, because by I think it was March that all the auto manufacturers said, hey, China was letting them know about their chip issues, or Indonesia, whoever's building the chips, and be like, hey, do you still want these? And all auto manufacturers, not just Ford, all auto manufacturers said, hey, let's pause on this because we don't know what the future is going to hold. And instead of keeping those orders, they were worried about their bottom line budget. And well, got us into part of the mess we're in today. And in fact, had they just pushed this thing back 6 months, they launched it in December. For you could have still done the January orders. I think it would have been better for the company, because even the interiors of these things, there was the first editions, which I know Cigar Texan has one. The interiors of these things didn't feel well thought out. I know some people like the navy pier that they were doing in there, and some people were scratching their head, if I wanted a red Bronco, why do I want this kind of bluish interior? Even the color codes for the handles, whatever your model you get, they all have their own color for the model, and they just didn't seem well thought out. And I feel like they started a mess. And hopefully welcome in all of you guys. Be sure to smash that like button for me. So anyways, I want to bitch around a little bit at the Ford brand. Now, I have a Bronco. It's been pretty good. Would I say it's the best vehicle I've ever owned? No. But then again, it's an off-road vehicle, so you expect it's going to be a little louder, it's going to be a little bit noisier. And there's a couple things I think they could have done better, and I've mentioned these many times. I think the plastics in this vehicle, I don't know if it's just poor timing of when they actually launched the vehicle or what. I just feel like the Jeep does the interiors better. We had a guest on last week who was discussing that, of the Jeep versus the Bronco plastics. Definitely the Jeep wins out. I have one in my driveway. I have a Bronco in my driveway, and it's just night and day how the quality of the things are going to go on. What's up, George Hamilton? So everybody rushed, what was it, July 13th, whatever. Everybody rushed to buy these things or to do a reservation, which you look, and Kelly and me were talking privately the other night about people that, and I saw, I think John had post in here smartly, it was 700 days from reservation or whatever, and then he did his order in January. I'm sure, like a lot of people did, January 20th. I remember that day. It was one of the bigger days on this channel because we launched 3 videos that day on how to buy your how to do your reservations and all that. And Ford took in, at one time, it was 190,000 pre-orders on this thing. Now, they build these in the Michigan assembly plant. Now, if you've ever seen the Michigan assembly plant, it's a old school plant, very old plant, but there's a lot of heritage to that plant. And they wanted to launch the Bronco out of the building that's always built Bronco, which I respect, except for in modern times, that plant is tiny. And I mean, it's tiny. You go to some of the larger plants and some of the new ones that Ford's building, that's just a blip on the map. And I feel like it's not capable of building enough vehicles. Now, in that plant, they've been building Ranger. So Ranger was priority. Then they launched this vehicle. They start doing all the trials of this vehicle. Luckily for, I think, them right now, Ranger's sort of dying down because there's a new Ranger coming. Number 1, Allie. And so it's given Bronco more capacity they run more Broncos. Now, clearly the Bronco is a much larger hit than the old Ranger is. So there's going to be more prioritizing those orders and getting those out. But people just didn't understand. I think we live in an Amazon culture now of where you just push the button like we did on reservations, and you just sort of expect it to show up at your door a little bit. And I don't, I think we were all sitting at home. Well, a lot of us were. I was not. I was one of those people that had to continue to work. But I think everybody was sitting at home, and it made for the perfect storm. You had a pandemic where already the manufacturers on all sides, once again, all sides, it's not just Ford, were slowing down what they were ordering from overseas for parts they were going to need. Clearly, Ford's had top issues. That's no secret. I think what was it, maybe a month after people started receiving these things, the tops were starting to split. There was all kinds of issues with that. I do know that I think Jeep is doing the same style top now. They're trying to do a cardboard core in these things, which is a not as strong top as the old fiberglass was. And I have a feeling that maybe some of these newer Broncos down the road might go to fiberglass. It's just been such a pain in the ass, and people blame Bastos, but it wasn't their design. They were working with an Italian company that does the core. It was like 4 different companies trying to do this all together. And well, clearly it was a Ford design. They wanted to be different, open air experience. Oh, we got this, look, Jeep has this bar that goes across the middle. We don't. You get all the open air experience, which is cool. If you have your top off, it is pretty cool, but brings a lot more issues we'll get into a little bit. Anyways, guys, in the comments, let me know what's been your problems with this thing as I take a sip of Monster. I haven't done one of these solo in a long time. I'm about out of moisture in my mouth. Anyway, so I want to pull up all the options. And for those, I think, definitely in Peugeot, definitely. It is a Ford. Ultimately, it's a Ford design. They do, once again, they design these things and have people put the products together for them so they can manufacture the finished product. But Bastos is not new to making this stuff. It's not like Ford just found some upstart company that it's like, hey, we can do it. they make tops. The C8 Corvette, the removable roof, they make that for GM. It's not like this is, they don't know how to do this. But I think the design of that top led to they couldn't build them as fast as maybe either promised or thought they could. So they're currently, I don't know if the second manufacturing plant is open just yet, but there's also a third coming online for these painted roofs, which is a whole nother nightmare. But I want to get into, we can beat up Ford all day for the launch of this thing. But I want to pull up this, the order screen. So at launch, we didn't exactly know what we were all going to be able to get. Where'd you go? Bear with me here. Normally I have Kelly that helps out with some of this stuff. Where are you at? Damn it! What's up, Andy? WTF? If I could find this stupid thing. There it is. Sorry, they changed my software on me. So this obviously says to build your 23 Bronco, but it does relate to once we actually got the ordering, because at launch we didn't know exactly what we were going to get to order. I remember I ordered a two-door, or I did a reservation because there wasn't a much information on it. Ford did that brilliant launch video with all the sway bar disconnect, showing it going through all these rocks, hitting high speed bumps. It was exciting, but they didn't tell you after that end of that launch, that video just died. And me covering that, I was like, oh, cool. They're going to be a live conversation afterwards, because that's how the auto shows work. Usually you get a video, and then they roll out the vehicle in front of you, and CEO or whoever of Ford launches the vehicle, and they talk about it for about 5 minutes, and that's it. But we were in the middle of a pandemic, so damn it. We didn't get that. So we didn't even get Ford to say much about it. It was just like, okay, now reservation banks are up and running. So part of Ford's problem again, I think, had they planned that out a little bit better to set expectations, it might have been better. But I also think that Ford was kind of had a little blue pill for the amount of reservations they were getting, because I think they thought, we're sticking this to Jeep now. Look at this. We built and designed what Jeep was building. We took it and just made it so much better. And look we got 190,000 pre-orders on this thing. Take that, Jeep. And come to find out, they actually didn't take many orders from Jeep at all. I do remember initially on the forums you would read, hey, Jeep guys were like interested in, they liked the Bronco. They thought it was kind of different and cool. But ultimately, through Jeep's shown their sales have not really taken a hit. Ford is claiming that, hey, we're bringing new people to this market, which I really do. I do believe they've brought a lot of new people to the market. So good for Ford on that. But let's take a bigger look at this. Let me enlarge this just a little bit. So at the time of launch, we were given a base, and I've made them all 4 doors. Except for, no, I think I even did Heritage. So base, Big Ben, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, no Heritage, Outer Banks, Badlands, and Wild Track. That's what we were given as options. And finally, the website took forever to actually get us to be able to do the build and price on these things. And it wasn't until sometime in November, there was a lot of glitches with their website. I do rack that up to pandemic times. Nobody's in house anymore. People working remotely. It just probably complicated, getting all this to launch. But it was a mess. They fixed it. Remember the colors on some of these things. The colors did not match at all. But we got some options here. And even the 2-door base at the time was what, $29,000. Man, how times have changed. A lot of people haven't even gotten these, and as I click 2-door here, $32,000. So we've jumped about $3,000 in a year, really a year and a half of production, I'll say. Clearly, things do go up. We are in a recession of sorts, and well, honestly, they can't find people to build these damn things either. So these were our options. You were like, okay, now I did my reservation. I did a 2-door Big Ben, or a 2-door Badlands non-Sasquatch, because I thought I'll put bigger wheels and stuff on it down the road. But the 2-door, I like the 2-door personally at launch, because I was like, this looks like the old Bronco. I've always loved the old Broncos. Never owned an old Bronco because, well, people just a lot of times you used to find them in a field. Till launch of the 6G, a lot of those early Broncos, there was people out there, carrying the torch for them, but there was a lot of them just rusting away out in people's farms that hopefully now are getting restored. But so I remember once this launched for me, I was like, shit, now what? So you go through the options, and we've got a base, a big bend, which these two right here, you guys have heard me say it. I know base guys, don't get mad at me for how I'm going to bitch about all these lineups. Don't get mad at me, but we'll start with base. So we have an option for base. So let's hit details here just to see. So it's just a low trim vehicle. You got a soft top with it there as the basic form. You can get a hard top with it. The bumper, just a basic bumper. No fog lights. You're getting the normal non-signature lights. And that's not a bad looking vehicle. You're getting normal, the fenders that's all pretty much the same across the board. And 30-inch tires, as you can see, 16-inch wheels, where the upper trims are getting 17 inches. You get 5 goat modes, which makes sense for me, cool. That's a base. But Ford jumps in on this stuff and goes, oh, you can get Sasquatch all across the platform. Now, people that got a base Sasquatch and you love it, that's awesome. This is not personal for my frustrations with this, which is leading up to the problems we have now. The base should have been, in my opinion, just the 2.3, a 5-speed or automatic, no hard top option, no Sasquatch option, and it's a builder special, as it were. Now, you don't get the advanced transfer case or any of that, and that's how my opinion of the base should have been. But Ford, and they're wanting to, I think, stick it to Bronco or stick it to Wrangler at the time, because to get anything cool with Wrangler, you had to go completely Rubicon, which is, the Rubicon is a hell of a beast, and in many ways is still far superior to the Bronco in many ways, and then Bronco's far superior in other ways. But you could only get 33-inch tires on the Rubicon, and that was it. And, I know Jeep community for years have said, hey, please give us 35s. And Jeep kind of is like, we have you. We'll do what we want to do. And then, Bronco came out and it forced them to do their recon package. But I think that if the base would have just been kind of that builder special, or people that wanted to kind of get into Bronco, that's more than cool. I think that would have been cool, and that would have kept that vehicle, as of right now, as a 4-door, $36,000. Okay, seems pricey to me for a base, but it is what it is. Next up, we get a big bend, which is kind of like a base plus, and we'll view some details here. You're getting 17-inch wheels, so you're going to get a little bit larger tires. These are a 32-inch tire, so you're getting a taller tire, which in the scheme of things to me is still in these trims, people are going to want to upgrade their Broncos. So the you getting a slightly bigger tire, maybe for, I don't know many people, I'm sure there's people out there that keep them completely stocked, but tires are the one things that I always want to put what I'm comfortable with on there. And not to say it's getting a bad tire, but so base, once again, you're getting a little bit flashier trim. You can see Bronco in white there. You're getting the standard package plus. You're getting a train management system with 6 goat modes, 17-inch wheels, 32-inch tire, carbonized gray grill, leather wrapped steering wheel, and gear shift knob. Wow. Damn, you sold me on that leather wrapped gear shift knob, because from get-go, Ford has had a weird excitement about the leather wrapped gear shift knob. I remember what is your fascination with this? I mean, we have it on ours. It's not like, oh my God, but if it was rubberized, would I care? Probably not. Now, the steering wheel, I will say, I do like a nicer leather wrapped steering wheel, but ultimately it wouldn't have swayed. If that would have been on the in trim, I wouldn't have been like, well, Ford, I would have bought one had you just freaking given me that leather steering wheel. We can get into heated steering wheels with Ford, because that's a whole nother stupid issue. Anyway, so this one here, the big bend, kind of strikes me as weird, because this is what I would have called the base. And because if you look at the names, Big Bend, let me go back out of this minute. So you start with base. Base is nothing. Big Bend is a place. Black Diamond ski slopes. Outer Banks is a place. Badlands is a place, and then you just got this weird wild track. So I understand like the naming of the trim levels. So why not just make the Big Bend a base? That's your lowest trim models. People would have played along. I know Jeep has what they call the Sport. It's kind of a basic Jeeps, but anyways, so this is where I would have started the base out at. But I love it. This is the Essential Bronco. Main Street off-roading. No. No, because you're still not getting anything. You're getting, yes, another goat mode, whoopee-doo. But you can get in all trims, you can get the Sasquatch package. Now, what a lot of people didn't realize, they go, okay, I'll get a base with the Sasquatch package. That still doesn't give you everything that the upper trim vehicles have, the skid plates and the rock sliders and all that. So I think there was some people were a little confused at what you might have got with that, but we'll digress. So as I went along, the Black Diamond is where I thought, once I started researching this and had the order banks, I tried to play conservative with ordering my Bronco. I don't know what y'all's financial situation is, but this was, I didn't want to go all crazy on this thing because this was going to be a vehicle for the channel. Now, me and Kelly love to off-road it, so we were going to do that. But this was primarily, for the first year of it, was, hey, I want to know the good and bad of this so I can do some reviews on it. So I thought, well, Black Diamond seemed like a good package for me because you're getting some cool things that the Badlands has, which if you're new to Bronco, Badlands is much like the Rubicon. You're getting all the cool off-road stuff. So let's view details on Black Diamond. So for $40,940, you're getting the standard package plus the terrain management system with 7 goat modes, 32-inch tires, which is not a plus because the Big Ben gets that. You're getting a powder-coated steel bumper with integrated fog lamps. So this is at launch, though, they did the you could get the modular bumper. This is a newer bumper for 22. Which I honestly, I would have ordered this bumper like this on even my Badlands because I knew at some point I would exchange mine out anyways. But the modular bumper is pretty cool. But you're getting 32-inch tires. You're getting rock rails. So down here, you're getting rock rails. And a lot of people don't understand what those are exactly. If you're truly wanting to do off-road stuff, you're going over high rocks. You don't want to fall down on a rock where it crushes your rocker panels there. So they're there to protect your rocker panels. Now, they're a very basic form of protection. They're body mounted, which as a guy who likes to go over bigger rocks, I would never trust body mounted rocker rails to really protect me ultimately. But they are a nice starter pack, as we'll say, to protection. I have some nice rock rails in my garage that I got to desperately get on my truck. Anyway, so you're going to get a rubberized flooring and drain plug. Now, that was a big plus to me. I thought this was okay, you're getting the rubberized flooring. Well, normally in high-end vehicles, you don't want the rubberized flooring. You want carpet, quietens the vehicles down, which is the irony to me of, off-road vehicles is we off-roaders want where we can just kind of rinse the floor out. And I thought that was cool. And I thought it was a good touch that Jeep was already doing that Ford knew they had to do. These things people are going to take these things. I remember from day one, people getting these things, just running through mud pits, just having fun. It's not my type of fun, but they were enjoying the vehicle, and as they should, and they could wash it out. And there was some girl on one of the forums that took a damn high pressure power washer to the interior of the vehicle, was bragging about it. Then the vehicle went to the dealership, a lot of electronic problems after that. So remember, just rinse out, not power wash your vehicle out. But you're getting the marine grade vinyl seats, which was another plus. The one thing that through all of this is, the first 2 trims, you're getting a cloth seat, which is still a nice seat. But through all the trims, you're getting, if you can get the marine grade vinyl, I like them. The only problem I had initially with them is anticipation of what they were going to feel like, honestly, because nobody got to see these things. There was, normally a vehicle launches in a month or so. There's one in a showroom where you can kind of go play with it. But the marine grade vinyl seats that we have, I love them a lot. Now, what they put in the Black Diamond is the same as my Badlands, except for it's a different color. I get it. Once again, I think whoever designed the interior of these things could have been done a little bit better job. But this was supposed to be like the best bang for your buck for off-roading. And there, once again, you can see the rubberized flooring. Notice they're just using a hose there to rinse it out, not power wash it out. But they were showing, look at this thing. You're getting some skid plates. You're getting this is if you want to make a capable vehicle, once again, that was your choice. Now, next up is Outer Banks. Now, Outer Banks is the idea behind the Outer Banks is you're getting a lot of plush features, right? You're getting some luxury, and that's kind of, and it fits in the same way that Jeep does with their what is it? I can't think of it at the moment, but Jeep has their trim of not the Islander. Oh God. Anyways, Jeep has a trim. It fits into the same trim. And so, why am I getting? Y'all hear? Let me know if you hear feedback. I keep hearing some echo here. So you're getting mid-package plus. So if you don't know the first couple trims, you can get a mid-package into black diamonds, but the lower trims, I don't remember if Big Ben could get a mid-package or not, but you're getting the same size screen, just not all the features. So this one here, your mid-package plus, you're getting 6 goat modes, go over all types of terrain there, 18-inch wheels. So you're getting a little bit flashier wheel, 32-inch tires once again, and they're all trims. I know Peugeot said it earlier. It seems like they're all different. The tires you get on all, even the 32s, it just seems like each one there's a different Sahara. Yes, thank you, Andy. So this is the version of Sahara that Jeep would build. So you're getting some cool colors. I do like the body molding fender flares that they did with that. And by the way, if anybody has any rapid red ones that are wanting to get rid of, I would like to buy those from you. But you're getting some nice stuff. You're getting tube steps instead of the rocker rails. You're getting a cloth seat with heated front row option, which is nice. This was supposed to be kind of nice. In all the models, you're getting these signature headlights on this thing, as you can see here. You're still kind of getting that Big Ben grill, but I think this is like a piano black finish, if I remember right. You're getting painted mirror caps. You're getting a lot of cool, plus features that would make you go, okay, that one's a little classier. I like it. Interior of this thing, the dash of it was a little bit different. This is a 2-door. You can tell by the inside paint there. And it looks to be a Badlands, so we can't use that one. But you're getting, I think it's hard to tell. I think these might be the call seats, but ultimately it was a middle package, and I understand that package. I do. I get why you need that package there. Okay. There's people, we've had some club meets locally. There's some nice ladies that roll up in those things. And I understand Ford made a nice Bronco because those ladies, they don't want to take those off-roads. I talked to a lady who owns a Outer Banks who said she will never take the doors off of this thing, which kind of strikes me funny, but I get it, man. So that's why the plush features of that one. So next up, and I promise you we're going somewhere with all this. Next up is the one I own, the Badlands. As you can see, this one was supposed to be the most capable for off-roading, for rock crawling. If you wanted to do everything, this was the most capable. You're going to get the Haas system with this thing standard. You were going to get 17-inch wheels. I actually do really like these wheels, by the way. I would love to see them in a 35. See that wheel on a 35. But you were getting great tires on this. BF Goodrich, KO2s on this thing. So you were getting a nice all-terrain tire without using Sasquatch package. Now you go Sasquatch package, and it's still more capable, but you're still getting skids, full skids on this thing. You got a standard package here, as it says. You're getting with 7 goat modes. You're getting a 17-inch wheels, 33-inch tires versus the 32 that everything else has. You're getting the Badlands suspension with front stabilizer bar disconnect. And a lot of people, I think, just, I know there's a lot of Rubicon owners that buy them because they think that's the upper echelon, and they don't buy it because of the features. We are going on an adventure, Andy. But the disconnect on this one, well worth it, man. With Jeep, you've got to be on nearly a flat surface to get the sway bar to disconnect, and then you can go up the trails and do whatever. Ford was smart enough. You just push the button, even if it's under stress, it will flex, and made the Badlands very unique. Thank you, Mark King. Thank you. He says #WildTrackLife. Thank you for that support, sir. But so Badlands, very capable. And you can still get the 2.3 engine in it on all these. You can get the 2.3 or the 2.7, which was nice. I like that. I like that Ford had some options where Jeep basically you can get a few options, but initially it used to be just the 3.6. Now they've gone to that. I forget what their 4-cylinder is, 2.0 maybe, and then you can get a V8. You can get a 392, which don't even bring in the conversation for Ford. But you're getting the rubberized floor mat. You're getting just a badass vehicle. And I saw one of these before I got mine. I saw one. I did a video on it where my local dealership had one in. And it was like 20 grand over sticker. But I wanted to see what these looked like in 33-inch format. I will say 33-inch tires for this vehicle. I've wheeled 33-inch tires for a long time. When I started off-roading, 33-inch tires were huge. And so I think if you bought just this package, it was great, man. But a lot of people want that Sasquatch package. But this, once again, you can see in here, you're getting all their fancy options. You get a lot of dual climate zone options, not not standard features, but you get a lot more options that you can flex this one out. I thought the Badlands ultimately was a great deal. Now, like I said earlier, I initially went to Black Diamond because of a price point, and as you can see right here, 40,000 versus 47,000. And when I went to Black Diamond, I thought, well, then I'll Sasquatch it, which brought me might have been just a little bit over the price of this. So then Kelly saw the sway bar disconnect, and she was like, I have to have that, which I was like, win, because I really did want the Badlands. But and then to wrap it up, we have the Wild Track. Now, Wild Track was Mark, don't get mad at me. You just gave me a big support. I appreciate that. But Wild Track to me is a very confusing model. It was supposed to be basically just the loaded out of everything. The only thing like you really didn't get was skids. Boggles my mind. You don't get full skids on this thing. And sway bar disconnect. And you're getting carpeted floor with the option of you can get leather seats and all that, but you're getting carpeted floor, which personally, I've been in most of my vehicles. My off-road vehicles have been, they've had the carpeted floors, and it's just you wear and tear those things if you go off-roading quite a bit. So I didn't get it. And yes, Peugeot with the Haas 3.0, it does make some sense. Yes, but there was nothing to make this thing special. Now Ford, initially they came with the painted mirror caps, so it had a little bit of the OBX with it, the look to it. You got these painted rings, beauty rings. Remember, by the way, these are not beadlocks. They're beadlock capable wheels, or you can buy the Ford Performance beadlocks to put on them, but those rings are not beadlocks. But I like beauty rings on them because I will bash the piss out of the wheels. I like that you either can take those off, paint them, or just go get another set. But this thing you were supposed to, if I remember right, you got the capable bumper or the modular bumper. You got all these features, and then you got nothing else. But the Wild Track name sounds cool. But remember when I said each trim sort of had a location or to the name? Is there a Wild Track in the United States that I don't know about? Now, I do know Wild Track in Australia. That's a trim on the Ranger. So maybe Ford's just trying to weave that trend in, make it so when they bring in the new Ranger here in the United States, I do believe we will see a Wild Track trim. So maybe this was an entry way of getting U.S. customers to understand a Wild Track. But very capable vehicle once again. But you were supposed to get, it was standard with the Sasquatch. It always kills me when I see people people always go, I got the Wild Track with Sasquatch, and you're like, that's what they come with. But I dig into this stuff like most of my audience here. We dig into this stuff a little bit more than most people. But it came also the roof standard hardtop. Well, guess what? They started realizing they couldn't build those hard tops, and so to keep this, because I guess the take rate on Wild Track was pretty nice. So they said, well, let's do now standard hard top. We'll take that off. We'll give you a soft top. And I want to say they credited, and somebody that ordered one of these early on, you might remind me, but I thought they credited you some money, whatever the $600 were for your initial order to if you did switch. But Wild Track, once again, is a confusing trim to me because, like Peugeot said earlier, till they put the Haas 3.0 in it, the upgraded suspension, which is a nice upgrade, I will say. Somebody on one of the social medias the other day posted a picture of side by side of the 2.0 versus a 3.0. It's definitely by probably a half-inch wider base of the shock, so you're getting more fluid in there. The extra reservoir is much larger than the Haas, and it's definitely. And I want to say the spring load was a little bit different as well. But so that was our 2021 launch, and through all this, it was once again, just as confusing as I made it sound, probably right there. We all started ordering these things in January 20th. We all put in our orders, or I think at the time they said, well, you got up to March, whatever, 20th, something like that. They give everybody a couple months to get their orders in. And I was a big guy that said, hey, get your order in early. Ford, the reason by Ford saying, here's the time frame, they wanted to get their orders in line for production. And so I really do feel like if you got your order in earlier, it mattered. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Just in my head, that's the way I see manufacturing going. So I think I went up the 19th and put my deposit down, and then they sent me they emailed me the order on the 20th, or maybe I went up to the 20th. I don't know, guys. What did you guys do? I'm curious. So then we play the waiting game. Now it's already been, if you think about it, we already started from July to January to get these things in, which is what, roughly 6 months, I guess. So we've all had 6 months to crave these things. At the time, Ford didn't shut down reservations either. They just churning. They're getting those, I understand it. You want to sell as much product as possible. You want the demand, and they know there's a certain percentage that will fall off. There was a guy at my work. I told him I ordered or did my reservation on a Bronco. He's like, yeah, I did one too. I knew that guy had no intention of ever actually following through with that order. I knew it, but and whether he actually did do a reservation or not, but I know there's people like that. They just want to tell their buddies, yeah, I did a reservation on one. So I would say probably roughly 10 to 15% initially is what they thought would fall off, get their money back. No problem. Ford says, thank you for that loan, because the way the Tesla model now of you doing these, here's $100, just pays for development costs, man, pays for the launching cost of these vehicles. And so be it. I think it's pretty smart. So then by June, May was, they started the job one of these, but they were producing some VIP Broncos. A lot of executives got their Broncos early, which is great. Don't think it's bad. That's great. Guess what? Those are the early runs that they're going to have problems with. So, and I think that's why a lot of times they do that with those VIP orders, is those people weren't going to complain anyways. So let's get all the bugs worked out. And by June, they were really cranking them up. And then they had to stop production real quick because hardtop issues. Like instantly, like I said earlier, they from day one of those hardtops, the tops were splitting. So if you held a top up and look at the bottom corner that meets the body, they were splitting because the way they manufacture these, they form the bottom, they get the inner core in, they slap the outer core on it, and they're supposed to seal it all up. There was some of these Broncos coming from MAP where they knew this was a problem, and you could tell they were putting RTV or some sort of sealant down the bottom, trying to hide it. And I say bad on Ford about that, because they knew, I think Ford knew from launch they had a problem with these tops, and they thought, well, we won't sell enough till we can get the problem fixed. We'll fix it quickly. And then, well, yeah, they didn't. And I want to say by the end of June, they stopped Bronco hardtops from going out, and it was just soft tops. So no matter what, hey, we'll keep cranking these things out. There was a lot of soft top orders, and I wasn't one. I was a hard top. But guess what? By May of that year too, I was told by inside sources at the plant, you don't want any part of these hard tops. So me and Kelly talked about it, paused our order. We'll wait till 22. Like a lot of people did. Hey, dealer, 99 my order, man. If you guys have heard that, I'm sure 100 times. And we by August, people were getting them. My buddy Luke got one. I think he got his by July. I got to do some off-road with him in September. Just fell in love with this thing. And let's see. hold on just a second, Greg. I'll get to your question. But by September, man, we took his Black Diamond out to Windrock Park, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is so much more capable than the Toyotas and the Xteras that I'd been running in. Like, I can't wait to get mine. And then Dream Cruise comes around, and Ford seems to be using Dream Cruise now, as especially for Bronco. Here's what we're gonna do. And they took away my Rapid Red. Pissed me off because that was the only color me and Kelly could agree on. She wanted Area 51. I wanted Cactus Gray. Somehow we went from those colors to Rapid Red. But I thought the Rapid Red for me was a real throwback color. It's a kind of a candy apple. If you look at it, there's a lot of flake in it. It's a pretty color. So me and Kelly, we literally were coming back. I know some of my old crew have heard this, but we came back from Woodward Dream Cruise, and I emailed the my dealership and said, hey, un-99 me, go soft top. And we were still a Black Diamond at the time. And I said, put us at Badlands, mid package, soft top. That's it. And of course, you know, there was the whole deal of their tow package was a commodity, you know, because by August we started finding out there was commodity issues. You're like, what the hell, man? You just launched this vehicle and you can't get to the damn, you can't have enough parts to build it. But I think a lot of people were accepting because of the pandemic. Okay, we'll give you a pass on that. Let me get to Greg's question here. Let's see. What does he say? I got my build date February 20th for my Badlands Sasquatch High two-door stick. Can I get the 2,500 off to take off the SAS as well as my private offer? If you have a build date, Greg, unfortunately, I don't think you can. That would be a talk to your dealership, talk to the ordering manager. Don't talk to your salesperson. Talk to the ordering manager. Because what they do, they get right in the system. You don't want, especially as quick as you might want to make this change, you don't want to get into the system, and you want the guy that can get into the system and make the changes. And now that I think about it, I think if you get the VIN, you can't make any changes. But up until you get the VIN, I think you can make the changes. And I have a feeling they would be happily to give you that $2,500 to take off the SAS. But to be honest, though, is what the SAS costs you in your ordering, does $2,500 make up the difference to come off? But you know, I guess $2,500 would buy you some bigger tires and stuff if you want. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Looking through what's up, Jason Boyd? Let's see. Mike says, not scientific, but it appears this week's scheduling has two-door heavy. Wondering if the MIC tops on the four-doors have a higher failure rate than the two-door versions. My two-door top is excellent so far. That is a great question, Mike. I've heard of some two-door guys fussing, but as a whole, you do see more four-door guys bitching about their tops. Though I've heard two-doors are very noisy. The hard tops on those things. Mark King might be able to tell me, but I have been very happy with our soft top. But I'll keep an eye on that and maybe do a story on that down the road. Future Sean, my buddy here in Nebraska. I ordered a TRX a couple weeks ago. A lot of dealers are discounting them since Dodge is filling their orders and selling close to invoice. The day after I received a VIN. Holy hell, man! That's congratulations, sir. That's talk about a collector's item. I think if it's a short run, like I think it will be, and even the Raptor R, I think those might be little collector's items. But I don't buy vehicles to collect them; I buy them to drive. So let's see. Greg says, I figured my sales price would drop to $50K minus the PO and 2,500 switch order. If that helps your budget, man, do it. Do it. I'm all about it. So now in this bullshitty story that is Bronco, we get by the end of the year, we start hearing more and more about the Raptor. At the time, they were calling it the Warthog, which personally, I like the Warthog name better. I think a lot of people did. I like making it just completely different than the Ford Raptor, but I understand why the Raptor, that's $1 billion idea, or the name's worth $1 billion. So it's easy marketing to call it that for the Bronco Raptor. So we've already got a lot of options for Bronco, and once again, too many options, because once again, I would have done away with the either base or big bend, and I probably would have done away with the Wild Track. And I'm not saying that because I don't like those models. I like all Broncos. You know, I'm an auto journalist, but I'm an enthusiast of this little vehicle. I love this little vehicle. But those I would have just kind of gotten rid of or not brought those to market. I think keep it simple, you know, come to market, only a few options. People are going to buy them no matter what. And then over the next couple of years, here's an upgraded model. Here's an upgraded model. Especially once, you know, they knew production issues were going to be, they knew from day one of launch there were going to be production issues. Don't kid yourselves. They knew. But they continue on all these because once again, like I said earlier, you had probably a year or two in advance of here's what we've got to push out, you know, that everybody's making their plans. So then we get the by mid 21, I guess early 22, we start seeing the Ford Raptor. Ooh, get the golden ticket, man. You know, oh, you didn't get, you know, you didn't get your 21. Everybody had to do the reorders for 22. Oh, well, we're going to do this golden ticket for the Raptor. And, you know, Esteban, I think it was Esteban, who is no longer the head of product for Bronco, or the PR of Bronco. He kind of said something bad. He said, this is a thank you to reservation holders for having to wait. Now, if I felt insulted by that, and at this time I had my Bronco. If I had to wait a year and then do another order, and then you start going, well, you can't, they started by then, they started pulling options away. The fuck am I going to, like, I have a mid 30, early $40,000 vehicle. And you're saying, oh, well, here's a chance to order a $70,000 vehicle as a thank you. Who in their right mind? Like, I was just so poorly worded, man. Like, I don't get it. But this is another option. Guess what this thing has? Yes, there's a lot of new suspension under this thing, but guess what? The core of this thing is a freaking Bronco, right? So we're already under constraints. This was already marketed here. This is coming. What do? Let's give everybody the option for more. Now let's look at the model highlights on this. You can get a mid and high package. Plus, you're getting train management system with 7 goat modes. 7. You're getting the 4-row suspension, which is basically right out of the Raptor, the 3rd generation Raptor, which is it's a very nice. Don't get me wrong. Other than the fenders and this goofy vent up here, which I think is not needed. Very capable vehicle and very badass. Now, the type of off-roading I like to do, the wider the vehicle gets, probably not as good for me because here in the East Coast, we have a lot of tight trees we go through. But still, major badass vehicle. You're getting a new 3.0 engine in this thing, which is a lot of engine. I know 3.0, you're like, oh, that seems small. But damn, this thing, what was the horsepower? 418 horsepower, where my 2.7 is only 330 before tune. And yeah, dude, that's a lot of fun. And so I can understand this vehicle, but at the same point, I just feel like it was maybe a year too early. And well, you know, as a thank you, there's that 73K price tag on this thing. Now where the real fun comes in, because this is where the real WTF part of this thing comes in for me. They know in 22 there's all kinds of constraints. They start taking away the a lot of little options, like the temperature gauge on the dial. We got to take that away. Microchip issue. Okay. I don't think people were really too pissed off about that. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't care. I have it on mine. I do look at it from time to time, but when you turn the dial, it pops up on the screen anyway. So not a big deal, right? But we start taking away, constraints, soft tops. What do? Oh, and we were hearing also at the time, Sasquatch is still a constraint, which I understand. I think the biggest part of Sasquatch constraints to this day is tires. I think the fact that the Goodyear, we're putting a Goodyear Wrangler on the tire, which is a okay tire. I do feel it was very grippy. But also, the rock issue at throwing rocks because of the tread pattern. I think KO2s would probably do about the same thing. I think that Ford's fun part of that tire, taking the Wrangler off the side, is also the worst part of that tire, because I think I mentioned it in a video the other day. So Bronco uses that tire. Ram TRX uses that tire. The new Hummer EV uses that tire. I know Chevrolet is going to use that tire in the one. I forget. Maybe it's the The new Colorado, I think, gets that tire. So there's a lot of companies using that tire, which is great for Goodyear, except for the fact that there's only one brand that was, I can't have Wrangler on the side of these things. So guess what that does? They run these tires in batches. Well, now we got to stop production. Oh, we need Ford. Now we got to do Ford's version of this tire. It's causing all kinds of issues. And now there's probably a contract on that tire that forces Ford to continue to buy it. But I think if they could get away from that tire for Sasquatch, I think you would start seeing, it would make Sasquatch a lot easier, because I've not heard anything from Dana about the axles, any manufacturing issues of getting the axles to Ford. And I haven't even heard of the tow package being an issue anymore. But it is what it is. I think tires for Sasquatch is the biggest thing. So where all these problems are starting to pop up, and what do? We've got this Raptor. Not good enough, right? Around the same time, guess what? Everglades. Woo! Everglades. Now, what does Everglades come standard with? I just mentioned that is a constraint. Tires. I'm going to make this standard. Also, guess what's standard with Everglades? Hard top. Guess what else is standard with it? You're getting the mid package. You're starting to get a lot of computer options in these things. And oh yeah, we're doing square fenders on this one, by the way, which personally, Ford should have done square fenders from the get-go. I like the round fenders, don't get me wrong. That looks more like a classic Bronco. But Ford, I think the take rate on Ford's winch option for their Broncos was so low that they needed to do this. They need to put that bumper on this thing. And guess what? You can only get a 2.3 engine in this thing. Now, you do get option of a snorkel. You're getting that roof rack that for some reason Sasquatch package couldn't get in the first year. You're getting a lot of cool, options. But I do call this a billboard for a reason. It's this big side sticker on here. You're getting the signature lights. A lot of cool options. Unique on the interior. I don't think they show it. But the interior is pretty unique. Color choices and seats and stuff. You're getting that marine grade vinyl. Other than that, it's just like a Black Diamond Plus, really. It's like in between a Black Diamond and a Badlands, in my opinion. The snorkel, I'm not a big fan of. I like snorkels on vehicles, but part of the coolness of the way Ford designed these built-in mirrors, so you didn't have to be like Jeep and add one, is with the snorkels made it a pain in the ass. Just that looks horrible. And the more bends you have in this, the slower that cool air is getting to your engine. I don't know. I haven't torn one apart to see the interior of it, but it's not usually with a snorkel. You don't want 15 bends. So you're getting that winch, the Warren winch on this thing, which is cool. I like the fact that you could get a factory winch plate on this thing. Once again, I don't like sticking my winch out if I was ever in a little bumper to bumper accident. I don't want to shove my winch through somebody's back of their car and tear my winch up. But it is what it is. But this is another package that it's just confusing to me. They could have added a winch option, or a snorkel option to any of their trims, from the factory. Would have been fine. Toyota did this for about a year run, and then the take rate was so low with Toyota, they decided to do away with their factory snorkel. It's an overlander's wet dream, though. You want to be an overlander, you got to have a snorkel on the side of your vehicle, and you got to have a winch on your vehicle. So I totally get this package. I just think poor timing on this thing, and the wheels look pretty cool. Very throwback like wheel. But once again, these tires, man, you can't build enough of this shit as is. And well, now let's keep adding to the problem that you can't already build, which is heritage. So this past summer, what do? Hey, we can't build enough of these things as is. Let's add 2 more models. Now, one of them is a very low run model, so I won't beat that one up. But the heritage right here, this one right here, I want to show it in a 2-door because I think this should only came in a 2-door. I love my 4-door, but I think if you're going to call something a heritage, it just should have been the 2-door. So there you go, the 2-door heritage, very classic, very throwback looking vehicle. Once again, you're getting those cool square fenders. So I do like people making their own heritage editions, but I like the square fenders, man. I really do. I've seen these in person. The interior of these things is cool, but guess what this is based around? The Big Bend. So talk about not getting many options. Well, there you go. You're getting a few more options. So you're getting the mid package, which is, not the standard. So you're getting a little bit better radio system. You're getting a painted hardtop. one of these damn things that are just constrained. Like, boggles my mind. Now, like I said earlier, I think it's a third. I know that Ford signed a contract with the company to do their painted tops. So I don't think it's taking away from Webasto's making tops for the regular Broncos, but it is kind of mind boggling that it's kind of a poor timing. I feel like not purposely rubbing it in people's noses that wanted a hard top, and especially in two-door. Two-door can only come with a hard top. There's some guidelines from the federal has some guidelines. There's so many they have to get out on the road before they can offer soft top. Jeep gets away with this because Jeeps have been around probably pre these regulations. And one day I will bring these regulations up. I will find these because I've talked about these enough that I need to do a video on them. But these are very cool in person. I will say the only thing I do not like about it is having it say Bronco up front. I would have put that in the rear personally, up here. But very nice. The interior, I like the plaid that they're doing in it. It's kind of worth the money. I do think it's just in a lower trim. You're getting unique floor liners with Heritage style logo. Grill is painted white to match that, which I think that looks good with the red Ford. Heritage body style graphics. Oxford white painted roof, and you're getting a Haas 2.0 system. So you're getting the Sasquatch package standard. Once again, damn it, man. We can't build enough of these things. And guess who got to order these? Reservation holders. As a thank you, we're not allowing any new orders on these things. So if you're a reservation holder, you're the one that got this option, which I do think for Ford, that was a nice way of doing it. The dealers have already taken advantage of everybody, of just beating everybody up over price, or, initially the big bins were the only ones that dealers seem to be able to order for retail for their stores. And, you see a ton of big bins out there. And I was happy that Ford kind of finally put a foot down, finally trying to get Bronco in line with their dealers a little bit, the best they can. Remember, kids, dealerships order these from Ford. After that, Ford has they can slap them on the wrist with some things, but they can't tell them no. These sell for whatever they want. Which I'm hearing these are actually in production this week. So I know some people had emailed me and said, "Hey man, I'm getting I got my build my build date for mine," which is very cool. But once again, standard freaking Sasquatch package. You can't, what has Ford already told us in these emails? Take away Sasquatch package and you'll get a build. The fuck, man? Like, you're pissing off the people who you want to buy these things. Just once again, like I said earlier, with all these, there's a timing. They have a schedule. They're going to release these. But guess what? This one could have been, once again, pushed back 6 more months. People are buying Broncos. It's not like they needed this. A lot of times companies do these because they need to boost sales. So, at the end of a model run, a lot of times you get these special editions. If you look at the 4Runner right now, we've got the 40th anniversary edition or whatever it is. That's only to boost sales because they have a new one coming for 25. Anyways, I do like this. If people have ordered this, I think go for it. I seen one. I think Allie sent me a picture the other day, or she posted on her social media, where it was gray with the white top. Looks freaking great. I will admit this. I would have a 2-door Heritage I would want it on 33s, honestly. But if it came with this, you're getting the better gearing and such. But I think I would want it on 33s, just more of a throwback looking vehicle, but very cool. So then, oh boy, here's let's put him in. Damn it, 2-door. Build your own. Oh, I don't want to build that. Where's Kelly when I need her? Over here, fat fingering buttons. Let's see. 2-door view details. There we go. All right, here's the creme de la creme of the Heritage Edition. This is based around the Badlands. So you're getting all these cool features. Standard Sasquatch. We can't, people in 23, you want one? You can't have that. Well, unless you order the Heritage Limited Edition. Oh, guess what? You can't order that either, because where the Heritage, you're able to order a Heritage as okay, cool, I can order the Big Bend Heritage. You can't do it with this one. Why? All this time dealers have been screwing around, kind of effing over some customer holders. There's been where dealers were out selling customer holders Broncos out from under them, which mine tried to. Mine was in the showroom. I asked them not to be in the showroom. They put it in the showroom. They detailed it up, which I asked them not to do. Don't take any of the tags or anything out of it. And well, they were offering it for $80,000 to people. That's right. My Badlands Bronco. Anyway, so what does Ford do to kind of cure that? Or well, we're going to give dealers we're going to just give dealers these, well, no, they're paying for them, but we're giving them either a 2-door or 4-door. You don't know what color you're getting. You get one if you opt into this. You're opting into this package, these Heritage Limited, and we're going to give dealerships a chance to make some money. Is what this is, because starting at $66,000, what were first editions around $65,000, I think, completely loaded out, and they were going for 120. I guarantee you these are going for $120,000, $130,000 for a Bronco. Ridiculous. Now, I've said this in the past, these will be collector's items. I do honestly feel like, if a dealer keeps this in on his showroom for a year, he doesn't care, because these, I think, are truly going to be collector's items, because 1,966 2-doors, 1,966 4-doors. That's it. And it's going to take up to 24 to build all these, which these don't actually go into production until sometime this summer. But very cool. I like this. I would like if they did Heritage in just a more obtainable package where you could get, the look of this thing, but you're getting the very throwback, the 4 whole wheels, the trim rings around it. It's a very throwback vehicle. Let's see. So let's look at it. You're going to get the Oxford white painted roof, Heritage limited edition body style graphics, which you can see right there. The grille is unique, which is not really unique if you think about, you can get it on the lower trim. Unique floor liners. You're going to get the Haas 2.0 with high clearance ride height. It's a Badlands, so you're going to get full skids. Here's the interior of this thing. It is a very throwback interior. I think there was a couple things. If you looked at the armrest, I think it's just a standard armrest. There was a couple trim things that I thought, seeing one, I thought you could have done this a little bit better. But comes standard with those Sasquatch package, and well, it's another option of Broncos that we can't freaking get. And so for 2023, we know about the letter, and I think I have it. Let's see here. Let me give me just a second here. I want to bring this letter up. I want to put it on screen so we can all bitch about it together. So there's 2 things I wanted to do. There's the letter. So let me do my movie magic here. And all right. So remove that one. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday, by the way. Hopefully me bitching about these things doesn't deter you. Helps you. But here's what Ford is sending out. Dear Bronco customers, they love these emails that kind of just take that knife and put it a little deeper into you, because we were getting them back, we're doing the best we can. Stay patient. Totally understandable. But stay patient. We're going to build you one. We promise. Well, the promises I've told you guys for a long time, their promises were going to run out, because they weren't going to. Reservations are about to be no more. If you're a reservation holder in 24, you're going to have to reorder it completely. You're getting in line with everybody else. They cannot price protect anymore. I said that would be probably a 1 year and done, which looks to be correct. But so they sent these letters out. Dear Bronco customers, although we are doing everything we can to continue manufacturing the Ford Bronco SUV, exactly as ordered, global supply chain shortages and unprecedented demand have impacted their ability to produce your Bronco. So, unprecedented demand. What did we just go over? You keep adding more models to this damn thing, creating more demand for a package that you cannot fulfill now. What is going on with that, man? But it says to give your Bronco the best chance at being built for 2023 model year, contact your dealer and update your order to a buildable configuration. Buildable configuration, which is basically we're not doing Wild Track, which they've not officially said it's gone. And I want to believe the smart thing would be to do just quietly take Wild Track off the picture, but they won't. They're just pushing people to say right now if you wanted that Wild Track, go down to a Big Ben, Black Diamond, anything else, we'll credit you $2,500 without Sasquatch. You know, take these constraints off. Obviously, hardtop being one of them, Sasquatch package, and the Lux package. Because I get Lux package. That's the take rate wasn't, you know, it's high, but people will be okay with a lower trim package, the high package or mid package. I don't think people would complain about too much, especially if you got a Lux package, you went to the high, you're still getting that big screen, which I think is the appeal of the package anyways. I know some people want the driving features and stuff, but I think ultimately, if I had to be pushed from a Lux to the high, I'm still getting the screen. Cool. I'm getting my tablet. I'm good. It's been a while since I've talked this long. So that letter comes out, and of course I did a video. You know, I did that video over a week ago, I think. Let's see here. Let's pop up some movie magic. All right. So I did here's the Wild Track Gone video, and I do discuss the order bank problems, and I seen this got put on the forums, and luckily, you know, sometimes I break some news and people just beat the shit out of me over it, and I don't care, honestly, but was pretty receptive over there, because I think the especially on Bronco 6G, the news there was some bad news going around. And they had been pushing even Bronco 6G. Somebody had posted my dealership, but then they didn't talk about the dealership in the post they did. They didn't discuss any of the details that I did. It just created a lot of confusion. So that's why I did that video, was to I got some inside information. I did my best to check within Ford. Some of it I was given like the, you know, quietly, like, yeah, it's happening. So I ran with it. And, you know, where we're at today is a lot of people are pissed off. They don't have a Bronco. The chances of them getting a Bronco now are slim to none. Ford has really damaged the brand Bronco. You know, you can go to a Jeep forum, just quietly go into a Jeep forum and search Bronco to watch. There's people over there that went and bought Jeeps. I know one. I told one of my viewers early on, I think this was in August or so, he had an order. He canceled his order because I was like, at the time, I was telling people, go buy a Jeep for a while. Keep your reservation. At the time, you know, all vehicles were holding their value because of the pandemic. I was like, you're not going to lose out. Hell, I have a Gladiator in my driveway. And it was just because I wanted something fun for the summer. And I thought, well, we'll do some reviews on it. It'll be fine. But, you know, I was telling this viewer, I was like, go get you a Jeep. It's the same. It's, if you want to take the doors off, that experience is going to be the same. Now, obviously, if you've driven a Bronco, you know it drives so much better than the Jeep. The power of the 2.7, so much better than the Jeep. Even their little 2.0 turbo they're putting in the Jeeps is pretty spunky. 2.7 is just much better engine. And the guy did it. He's having a blast with it, and I don't think he's looking back, honestly. And I don't blame people. For the channel's sake, we would have kept our reservation until, if I was still waiting now, it would probably give me some more gray hairs, but I don't think I would have I would have moved on to another vehicle. I probably would have went and got a Wrangler, which I kind of regret personally not getting the Wrangler now. I wanted to experience the Jeep truck basically, but I think for the channel's sake, having a Wrangler side beside the Bronco would have done better for content. But you guys have been very supportive of us, and I've got to do a final video on that Gladiator, by the way, too, because it is going. I need to take it to a dealership and just let them have it. But anyways, what are you guys talking about in the comments? I'm curious. I want to hear your frustrations about this. I want to go ahead and type them up. I put them on screen. We will WTF this mother together, and we will have some fun. That's kind of the idea. I know I got long-winded on that, and but it is what it is. 392 positivity win says, yes. I've done one time in the three. I did a press trip. The video didn't come out very well. I didn't get enough video on it because we were having a lot of fun driving the thing. And so I never released that video, but me and Kelly did test one in Texas last year. Just hearing that thing start up. If you're a car nut, you hear that big V8 like that, you know, with a nice exhaust. It's So impressive. And I know Bronco, the old Bronco guard wanted V8s in these things so bad, but Ford is doing away with V8s. I think the Raptor R is sort of the last hurrah for the trucks, other than the 250s and 350s, which I think if they could get a 3.5 in those things that could tow, they wouldn't even have them in those. Better go buy a Kia Stinger. I actually like those little Stingers, man. Early on, the problem with the Stinger was the Kia badge on it. I actually like the new logo, even though it's a little bit confusing. Let's see. In Peugeot, if Ford builds my Bronco, I get a $3K price protection, 25 on my transition offer with the $2 under K for the invoice. I would have done well for a $40,000. Yeah. If they honor all that together is the problem. I would be curious if I mean I know the 2K under invoice was a Granger's deal, but I would be curious if they honor that. Not Granger, but trying to package all that stuff together. Maybe they do. So we'll see. And I know you'll definitely let us know in Peugeot when you pick that thing up. Granger's one of those dealerships that early on, man, I feel bad for. One of the guys that was handling all their Bronco stuff passed away. They they took in, I'd heard 600 to 800 orders, but I think in Peugeot had said in the chats they're at 1,100. They're never getting fulfilled. There's no way they would. And the way Ford's doing it now, unless everybody just went to some sort of big bend, I don't see a way they fulfill those orders ever. Let's see. Evil Truck, what's going on, buddy? We need to have you on the show sometime. You're the crazy effer that broke his front diff. I love carnage. I don't like mud, so I'm not into the type of wheeling you do, but we need to get you on the show sometime to discuss what you do. I'm willing to bet price protection. It will be price protection or 2,500, he says, or not both. And I would definitely with you on that because dealers aren't losing money. I know there's about $2,000. I've seen the invoice on mine. I know they made about $2,000 on it because I paid MSRP. Where dealerships make a lot of money is the back end and financing. So I think that's probably where Granger was like, if I remember right, my buddy Luke said he bought from Granger. He was the second Bronco they sold. He said part of their deal was to get that invoice, you had to finance through them, and it had to be financed through them for 6 months, and then some deal. It's been years since I've talked to him about that, but is what it is. Let's see. Cigar text, and I am pissed I didn't get a two-door FE reservation. I could have gotten the Raptor too. I think down in your area in Texas, dude, the Raptor would have been a lot of fun. I'm sad that the Texas Auto Writers Association, who I am a part of, doesn't have they can't get Ford down there right now. So I'm only sad that when I go down a couple times a year to do some vehicle testing that they don't get Ford. But we're part of Midwest Autos Writers Association now in around the Chicago area, and they are buddies with Ford. So you will see more Ford content on this channel because I'm all about the big SUV. I can't think of it at the moment. With the Timberline package, I really want to test out the Timberline package. Let's see. In Peugeot, I'm a 475 now. Is that what you're saying? How many orders they have? I'm a little lost. Let's see. Let me go through your questions here. Once again, normally I have Kelly to highlight these things. John says, you nailed it on the head. They are catering to limited editions for all the constraints. Definitely. I mean, think about it. They're not building all 1966 2 or 4 doors this year. So it's not like, there's roughly $5,000 plus of vehicles they have to build in those this year. They're spreading that out. But no, if you think about it, man, I don't care if it's 1,000 they build this year. 1,000, that's 1,000 Sasquatch packages that everybody's been waiting on and can't get. That I get it. I understand Ford wanting to do something with the throwbacks with the Heritage Limited Edition. Totally understand that. Think about it. It's just basically a first edition. They've put a couple extra features on. But Ford's constantly let us down. At launch, they came out, painted hardtops. I wanted the painted hardtop badly. I wanted to do with our red one. I thought a black gloss or the body color matching painted top with that red would be amazing. I see enough Jeeps running around with painted hardtops that I'm like, oh man, that does look really good together. well, still ain't seen that one. Now our best option is there's a couple. I think there's 3 manufacturers doing hardtops now. Who one of them you'll see on the show down the road. They've agreed to come on. But I think the best option for that might be just to order one of their paintable versions and do it that way. But let's see what else we got going on here. Greg says that Ford didn't damage the Bronco name. OJ did. Well, he did in '96 or whenever that was, '94. He did hurt the brand that way for a while. So they quietly is like, I'll just do away with that one for a while. Plus, to be honest, the sales weren't there for full size 2-door like that. The sales weren't there. We were by the mid '90s. Everybody was moving to the small, like the little Jimmys or the whatever Chevrolet called theirs at the time. The S10 style. People were moving more to a smaller 4-door version. Oh man. Let's see. I'm going through your questions here. Be sure to let me know what's going on. What are you pissed off about? Let's see. Corey says, I placed my reservations 2 days after launch. I was at day 3. Didn't pull the trigger on it until after Christmas this year. Ordered a Badland Sasquatch hardtop and Lux. Now I'm debating canceling and getting my $1,000 back. I get it, because you're by now 2 years in a month or so. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, man. And I don't blame people for doing that. And I hate to push people too Jeep on that stuff, but if you wanted this style of vehicle, these style vehicles, they're a lifestyle vehicle. Let's be honest. This is I live with our Bronco soft top. Doesn't bother me at all. But if I had to commute to Nashville, or if I had a long drive every day, a 40-mile drive each way, going through wind, rain, snow, I don't know that I would want this as a commuter vehicle. They're definitely a lifestyle vehicle. So, and there's a window for a lot of people, if you don't have kids. I understand wanting hey, it's a fun vehicle, get it. But there's a window to wanting a style vehicle like this. So if you have to switch, I would say talk to your dealership, see what the odds of how many reservations are they going to get pulled this year. That's what I would ask first. And where am I at in the line? Now I know they'll say, well, it's due to constraints. If you can make some changes, so be it. I will say though, I would go, if you don't have one at the dealership, if there's not a soft top Bronco used or new that they would let you ride in, go get in a Jeep soft top 4-door, ride in it, see if you can live with it. You may fall in love with the Jeep, man. I'm an off-roader at heart, so I like seeing people get fun vehicles like this. But also, the Jeep drives so much worse. And I do think the Jeep with their next generation, you're going to see it have an independent front suspension. I think they'll do a Rubicon still with a solid axle. And I think that'll force them to take the Rubicon from like a mid-60s to like an $80,000 price tag. But I think it's coming. I think Ford has pushed Jeep, and Jeep is very reactionary to all this stuff. And just like with their Recon package, there's no way in hell before Ford came out with the Bronco where they've done that. There's no way in hell. The V8, there's no way in hell they would have put a 392 in a Wrangler, which Wrangler purists have been asking for 10 plus years. With the JKs, please put, and the people were doing it aftermarket. They would have never done that. But guess what happened a couple months after a launch of Bronco? Oh, here's the concept. And a month later, it was like, oh no, man, sorry, pardon me. There's by the way, no, this isn't a concept now. We're putting it in production. It was just to keep the attention at Jeep. But I like Jeeps, don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, certain things they do in that vehicle that is much better versus Bronco, but vice versa. Hold on just a second. All right, Brooks, watch out. Somebody banging at the door. All right, so let's see. Bring more questions, comments, guys. I'm curious about bitch away in this thing, man. Trust me, Ford watches these things. Any Ford content out there, they're paying attention. They don't publicly. At no point, I had somebody on Instagram be like, "I work for Ford." No, you don't. Those guys do not let themselves known. They have fake accounts. They don't want to be followed. They want to just see what the community is talking about. And turns out this guy was a Ford dealer. And so he was trying to tell me about manufacturing. Let's see. Oh, so I hear our friend Gia just blew her clutch in her brand new Bronco. That is a major bummer. A lot of clutch problems I am hearing in the manual transmissions of these things. So hopefully Ford takes care of her. I'm sorry, Gia, if you rewatch this. Let's see. Let's see, Williams. I have a non-SAS Badlands, and the wife asked for bigger tires. Nice. And that was I love that Ford came out of the gate. They've got all this BS under it, like lift it, all this stuff till you do it, and then you try to get something warranted, and they're like, nope, you effed it up, can't do it. Which is mostly Ford dealers. Which I did that story with Dave Z about him blowing his transfer case, which in turn they also found his front diff was blown. Which what I think happened is diff blew and it forced when we were probably pulling it, it probably just forced the transfer cases to F up, which is he was fine with it, us pulling him out of there. But and then we'd had to airlift him out of there to not break anything else. But he is back in his Bronco, and we're gonna do a follow-up story with Dave about that, his whole process, what it took to get it, because what was that, October when we were up there and he broke, and he just got it back this past week. Took a long time. Let's see what else we got going on there. Let's see. William says, what exactly is the difference between a Badlands Sasquatch and a non-Sasquatch? Larger tires, gearing, depending. If you get the 2.3 manual transmission, it has the 4.7 gearing. If not, you're getting a 4.3 or something, I forget. So the gearing makes all the difference for me. If you plan on putting larger tires on it, if you get the manual transfer case, you're golden. But if you're automatic, you'll know a slight at that gearing. That's not a wide range of gearing difference, but you will notice a little bit of like it takes a little bit longer to get up and go. And it's not not actually losing power. It's just the gearing is slightly smaller and doesn't put all the energy down as fast as the higher gearing. I'm not a major gear technician on that. All I know is personally, there was somebody I argued with. There was a YouTube person out there that she was, I don't need lockers. I'll just send it. And I told her, I said, because she was ordering one, and I was like, hey, you want those lockers and all that stuff. And well, things happen and people break their stuff. So there you go. 446. Thank you, Impijo. I couldn't remember that. What did Dave flipped out his high and knee pads and helped him out? What are we talking about? What is up, Robbie? Let's see. Who am I helping out here? Let's see. Coltrane. I wanted a hard top, but after seeing the issues they're still having with them after taking a mannequin for a ride for 3 days, it wasn't sad about picking up the soft top. I'm telling you, the soft top, we have a hard top on our Jeep. Obviously, I wouldn't want the soft top on the truck just because I think it looks horrible on the Jeep Gladiator. But I love the soft top on our Bronco. Now, there's already been some wear issues that I've seen from folding it back a few times that I need to talk to my dealership about. But I do plan on. I've been trying to budget for the best top. I'm not big on a fastback top that they do, but I just think it's a better top. And to be honest, too, the thing people need to understand about soft tops is there's a life expectancy to soft tops, where the hard top will last you probably the life of the vehicle. Soft tops, depending on the quality you pick, and these are a nice twill top, you're 5 to 7 years, and you're going to be replacing that top. The weather will break them down. So just be aware of that with soft tops, though. But probably for most people, 5 to 7 years, they don't own that vehicle anyways. Let's see. Image Show says big difference between the 3.7, which is in the base, the lower trims, not the advanced system, if I remember right. Between that and the 4.7, even a 4.27 makes a big difference from a 3.73. Yes, gearing is everything. It's just think of it as a 10-speed bicycle. Yeah, most people have rode a 10-speed bicycle before. With the harder it's easier to push when you put it in those higher gears. You go down to the lower gears because you want to spin faster. So, and if you want to add tires to this thing, say you're on the 32s and you want to add 35s or maybe 37s, you're definitely going to notice the difference. All these people that tell you they don't are just saying that because it's pride. You notice a difference. Now, is it like, oh my God, is this thing a dog now? Now, I think with the 3.7, the what was it there? I forget what you were saying. The 373s, is that the one they're putting in the base and the big bend and the lower? I can't remember, but you definitely would notice 35s on that one. Plus, once again, too, if you don't get the advanced transfer case, guess what? It's made by somebody different. And the advanced transfer case is made to be beat on a little bit, where the non-advanced is people have been blowing them. Gearing is a more torque multiplication. Yes. Let's see here. Badlands might look better with 35s, but having SAS and 33s is my favorite. The 33s handle amazing and won't make it and make me drive it all the time. Like I don't drive the Sasquatch. I know, honestly though, I don't. The 35s, let's be honest, they're a tall 34. They I don't have any troubles with them. I don't regret that purchase at all because I knew we would at some point. I will put 37s on mine for the type of rock crawling we do. But at the same point, I'm not like with my 35s. We just put a new set of BF Goodrich KM3s on it. Fine to me. The only thing mine needs right now is a little bit of lift, and I'd probably be happy for a couple years. Let's see. Michael Cooper, I ordered a Black Diamond hardtop manual transmission. I went in January to change it to a Badlands Sasquatch Lux tow, but Ford built my Black Diamond instead. Well, that's kind of a bummer, man. Cool thing about vehicles, though, live with it. The Bronco still holds its value pretty well right now. I am starting to see the market adjust. I think it's because of the recession that we're in. But I am seeing the market adjust a little bit. But I still think if you ordered one right now, or you got one right now, 6 months later, you want to get rid of it, fairly low miles, 5,000-10,000 miles. I think you could probably almost get MSRP for it. You'll do well. And maybe down the road, find the one you want. Or you can always trade for another Bronco. Let's see what else we got going on there. Coltrane says, with my stock 33s and my Badlands, I feel it's more capable for what I want to do. I may get 35s down the road, but I have the 4.46 gears, and I'm sure I will be fine. You will be fine. Trust me. I think when you hear people talking about gears, I had let's see. I had a Nissan Xterra one time. It came with 32-inch tires. It had a 4.46 gearing in it. You put 33s on that thing, only going up slightly, you could tell a major difference in that. You put 35s on that, you had to jump up to 513 gearing on that thing to make it drive like it did factory gearing. But gearing is expensive, and I don't know that anybody's offering gear sets for these just yet. I want to say there's some people that do it, but there's something about the case on these things. I haven't figured it out. And I know Dana is offering a new Bronkbusters, selling it on their site. There's a new transfer case you can buy, lockers all the way around. They're starting to get options out there, but having gears set, if you have an old axle, old Dana 44 or something, you'll put gears in. If it's a Jeep, it's not too bad because there's enough Jeep shops, but any other brand, it's expensive to do. You're probably looking at just to have it set was, I want to say I was quoted like $1,500 just to have my gears set in my Xterra that time. I ended up doing it myself, but I hate dealing with gears. You can really mess stuff up trying to set your own gears if you don't know what you're doing. Andy, don't get political in here, man. There hasn't been a real recession in my lifetime. I don't know, man. Nine was a pretty big recession to me. I was put on the food line for a while. M. Joe says there are 518s available. Is that the ones that are in the new Dana gear sets they're doing? Let's see. Steve, let's see what to expect from power from a 232 door with 35s on a Heritage. I don't think I think it'd be all right. I'm assuming that they're putting the with 35 Sasquatch, it should have the proper gearing. I'm going to say it's probably got the 4.7 gearing in it. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Scrolling through these here. Well, thank everybody for hanging in on this one. It's been kind of a bitch fest here from me. I was going to do a video on this, and I was just like, I want to talk to everybody about this, man. Let you guys get your frustrations out. Because this does, once again, I have a Bronco. I would order a 2-door. If I didn't think it was going to take 4 years to get, I would order a 2-door right now. I would like a 2-door for just putting around town, man, and then maybe build Kelly's up to, something super fun. But the 2-door, I'd probably just get, honestly, I could get the Badlands with 33s and would probably be really happy. I don't know. I once the mod bug bites you, you always want to make it better. So just ignore me. No, I have no interest in ever being political. I'm pretty libertarian, man. So nobody's ever would vote for me anyways. Let's see. Late 70s was a rough times. No, I remember. I'm that old. I remember my parents buying a house. We moved here to Tennessee. They bought a house, and I want to say the home loan was higher than 13%. I want to say they were maybe 15% on their home loan. And I remember them refinancing it down in the 6s at the time, and was like, "Holy shit, we're saving money." Does SAS truly have 1 inch of lift over non-SAS? Well, if you think about tires are larger. And if I remember right, that it is about a 1/2 inch of coil difference. So I would say the tires are about a 1/2 inch difference. If the don't hold me to this, Jason, but if I remember right, the settings where the adjustment of the coils is up a little bit higher. Probably 1 inch before it settles. Yeah, haven't we all heard that? Steel Bronco says, I miss Kelly. Sorry, Dave. Well, Kelly is currently at a basketball game with my little one. Or actually, wait, let's get up. Let's piss Kelly off. Let's do this. Hold on. Let me get this other mic over here because we're gonna have to do this kind of fun old school. But let's if you want to see what it's like to live with Kelly, let's call Kelly up. I don't know that she'll pick up, but we'll see.
Hello.
Hi, Kelly. You're live with Bronco Talk Live. How are you doing tonight?
Shut up.
You are live.
Why?
Well, because where was it? I have to. Steel Bronco says, I miss Kelly. Sorry, Dave.
So sorry you missed me.
I know. Well, I told them you probably didn't want to be a part of this bitch session. So
no, I don't normally participate in said bitch sessions on lives.
Right. Kelly's the positive Bronco owner. We're like yin and yang. But Kelly, so we kind of went over the current situation of Bronco about how some people can't get their Broncos. What do you feel about that? And then I'll leave you be.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about it. It's really unfortunate that people can't get their Broncos, especially those that are day one reservation holders. No offense to those that came late to the game, but those that are 1, 2, and 3 day, reservation holders, I think they should still be able to get what they want in their vehicle because they were promised from the beginning. Here's essentially putting that $100 down was an agreement,
right,
between the Ford and the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just unfortunate that they can't get their vehicles. Like, we love our Sasquatch package, but I can't imagine anybody who wants a Sasquatch package has to make a decision of, hey, do I gamble to get my truck? Or do I say, screw it on Sasquatch package so that I can hope to get my truck? Right. So it's an unfortunate situation.
Well, Kelly, we appreciate you. I had to do that for our viewers because they missed you. So.
Well, yes. Hello. I miss you too. I didn't know he was doing a live today. And we're parenting. I'm at Sam's Club with our daughter. So
the ball game is over.
Yeah, the game is over.
Okay.
Yeah,
how bad did Sydney's school get crushed?
Sydney school got crushed 55-11, I think it was. Yeah, so yeah, it was a pretty painful. And then the next game that came in was the number 1 seed against the number 2 seed, and it was really loud, so we decided to leave.
Nice.
It was a head-to-head game though. For the second
Well, there you go. So that is the Boyd update brought to you by White Knuckle Off Road. Well, all right, Kelly. Well, I will let you be that you're shopping, but I had to make the fans happy that at least you were part of the show for a minute.
There you go. Well, I miss y'all. You have a great one. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, guys. There you go. And Andy, he says, hi, Kelly. Thank you for that support, man. You guys, when you all the support and stuff, if you're new to the, because we might have a lot of new viewers in here. If you're new to this, we are auto journalists. We travel around the country, and things like that, little support like that does help us continue to be able to do that, and memberships. So those help as well. It's $5 a month. If you want to, don't ever feel like you have to. We appreciate just having you guys on the show. I'm sure there'll be a little ad somewhere in this this stream that Google makes their money, and I get a couple pennies from. So let's see where else we got. I think it's worth it depending on what you use it for. I'm assuming we're talking about the SAS there. The trails I ride have a lot of opportunity to pick up pinstripes here in California, so PPF is worth it for me. Oh, okay. Where John was talking about full or partial PPF. Now, initially, I did a story after we rode in one at Bronco Supercell. When was that? 21? Yeah, I think it was 21. We got to do ride-alongs with it. And it was muddy. It had rained a little bit. And I started seeing where the mud was splattering on these vehicles. And I told people, I had people call me stupid about this. This was early in the channel. They just didn't understand what we were doing. And I was like, you're going to want to PPF these vehicles, especially the sides of these vehicles. Because rock chips, mine, trust me, we didn't have ours a day or so. And I found a rock chip in the door. Pissed me off, but what are you going to do? And I had planned to PPF mine, but honestly, I couldn't find it under the whole vehicle. It was like $6,500, something like that, which at the time was just a lot of chunk of money that the channel was not earning. So it's hard to justify it. And so we decided we were going to wrap. And that's why if you ever look at my wrap, the way it comes up, it's because I saw mud coming, the way the mud was coming off these vehicles. And I thought, well, it gives me the best chance to somewhat protect the vehicle. Obviously, there was for the channel design and stuff, but that was a big chunk for me. I would, at minimum, do the sides, just the doors, at minimum. Probably run you about $1,000 or so. I think it's well worth it, especially if you live near gravel roads or anything where you, those tires, do you spend $1,000? You do go buy $3 or $4 grand worth of new tires. And even at that, my big lugged KM3s will throw rocks from time to time. So the mud flaps, and I know somebody asked about mud flaps earlier. I personally am not a big fan of mud flaps. It takes away capability for what I do for this vehicle. Now, for most people, you're riding around the streets, you're going to pick up little rocks, throw it into the door. I totally understand it. And I wouldn't even mind like rubber mud flaps for the back of my vehicle. But I do a little bit of rock crawling and stuff with ours. And at no point, I think I would just break those off the vehicle. Trust me. I used to do it on the Nissans. I used to wheel. If you could see my company vehicle right now, I do wheel it professionally. It's the mud flaps are all just ripped to shreds. So, but the best ones that I've seen so far are the block mud flaps, or that's in my opinion are the best I've seen. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Healy, for that $5. Reserved mine 2 weeks ago. Badlands non-Sasquatch with the 7-speed manual transmission. Lux dual top modular bumper tow package received a build date 3/20. Well, congratulations, man. You just won Bronco of the week, I think. That is pretty crazy. Did you have a reservation before because some dealers, I mean, if you got a build date that you have one coming, but some dealers might have had some spots opened, I guess, for new orders, but for the most part, I know Ford had said no new orders till the new order date, which is what, March, sometime mid-March is when I think the actual order date pops in for new people. But that is awesome, man. I love it. And you know, I hate to be like this where Ford has been like, well, you settle and you'll get this stuff. If this is a dream vehicle for you and this is a once in a lifetime purchase of this style vehicle with you, I would not settle at all. I would hold out. Like I said, there's other brands out there. These are lifestyle vehicles. And if that's what I want, wait and get what you want exactly. Now, the only compromise I can see making is hard top to soft top. But if it's the Lux package that you want, go for it. The high pack or let me look real quick because I want to talk out of my ass because I wanted to get into this a little bit. Let's pull up the old build and price. Let's see. Let's see how. All right, so this is a Badlands. As you can see, we're not going to worry about color options, any of that stuff, because what I want to see is their packages. All right, so here's the packages. So with Badlands included as a standard package, this part of their website, by the way, is just freaking horrible. Let's see, interior features. There we go. So you're going to get the manual seats. I know a lot of people have asked for powered seats. I would have done the powered seats in the OBX only, because more than likely the people that were buying that weren't taking their vehicle hardcore rock crawling. But then again, I probably wouldn't let OBX had a Sasquatch. Let's see. I'm trying to see the features. So manual tilt, 8-inch cluster gauge. Let's see. Lux package. Let's go right to Lux package and see what all you get. So it includes the high. Well, let's start high package because there's some features there. So you're getting the 12-inch screen, swipe capability, which the 8-inch screen has swipe capability. The camera, which I know a lot of people like, 360 camera, which that would have been a nice feature to have. Additional sound deadening, which is under the, I think all it is the one under the hood. They put the mat under the hood for that, which IAG I think offers that for like $90. So it's not really a sales feature for me. You're getting the forward sensing, the mirrors, the side view, LED approach lamps, Sync 4. So I'm looking for the heated steering wheel and all that. Let me see if it's down here. Because the way Jeep does it is they call it the cold weather package, where you get heated steering wheel and seats, which I love a lot. The way Ford's doing it with Bronco is horrible to me, where it almost forces you, if I remember right, into the Lux package. Guys, let me know, or maybe it's just the high package. I don't. Yeah, front row heated seats here. Let's hit that, which is going to say, hey, it should say, yeah, it's going to put us in the standard package. That's fine. Where's the steering wheel? Because that's the one thing I don't have in mind that I wish I could have just bought as a package is the heated steering wheel. Yeah, I'm not. Joe, I've been thinking about buying that mat just to get the old meter out and see if there's actually a difference. I doubt, honestly, there's much. I think it's one of those things that they're looking for features now. There it is, heated steering wheel. I think they're looking for there we go. So yes, forces you into the Lux package for a freaking heated steering wheel. Which, once again, you go to Jeep. Let's pull a little Jeep up. I'll show y'all how much, they're not a better company by any means, but there's certain things they do. They know the audience, they know that vehicle. And I don't want to find mine. Let's go to build and price. All right, add stream. So here's Jeeps. So we'll just go to Rubicon because blah blah blah. Don't care about any of their features, but where is their? Look at all these top features they have, by the way. Everybody's like, top, we can get the premium one or a 3-piece hard top for $17.95. And everybody's like, I'm just going to wait till Ford offers a hard top. Well, at this rate, they're never going to offer one to buy aftermarket. And if they do, I'm telling you, 5-6 grand. That's what those things are going to cost you. Somewhere in here. Oh, come on. Where you at? There it is. A pack. There we go. Cold weather. So front heated seats, heated steering wheel, leather wrap steering wheel, remote start system. No, not with some configurations. And look, it didn't force me into some high lux package to do that. Why Ford? Ford scanned these websites to kind of get an idea what Jeep was offering. Why they just couldn't have done that from the get-go. And in many ways, I think maybe that saves some microchips, because you don't have to, whatever their constraint is, because you don't force some people into a high package where maybe, I don't know exactly the high package. I'm assuming because all the sensors for the drive features is what's part of the Lux package that causes the issues. But if they would just offer that for $1,000, I would put heated seats and steering wheel in mine. Where right now I just have the heated seats, which I do love, by the way. Oh man, what else we got going on here? Let's see. Heated seats are standard with the Badlands and mid package and lower trims. Oh, Russ Woods was talking about that. There we go. Yes, heated steering wheel is Lux. Heated seats, high. No, I don't have the high package in mind. Yeah, the lower trims can get heated seats, which in this style vehicle, trust me, you want those. You take the. I've even had summer nights last summer. We had, well, even in our Jeep, we've had the doors off. You get to be a cool, damp night here in Middle Tennessee. No doors. You've left the doors at home. I'm telling you, they mean a lot. Now, my daughter doesn't have them in the rear of the Bronco, nor does she have really rear vents, which is another what the fuck from Ford. Whoever thought nobody wants, we'll just do floor heating, which if you guys ever had issues with your floor heating, I don't know that mine's ever worked. I don't sit back there, so asshole of me, I don't notice these things, and my daughter doesn't complain about it, but I don't know that mine actually worked. Let's see. Let's see. Don't forget, with the Lux, you also get the heated cell phone wireless charger. Hopefully they fix that. Yeah, they're I will say, in reviewing vehicles, a lot of the chargers in most modern vehicles don't work great. Those magnetic chargers, or however it works, they just don't work that great. I think they're getting better. I want to say the last Jeep product me and Kelly tested, we were surprised because she has a pretty thick case on hers, as do I. These new cases obviously have the strip now for helping the wireless charging, but she has an older case, and it, bam, like that, charged. Never had it, didn't stop charging. Some of the Toyotas we've tested, the Tundras, dude, it'll be on, off, on, off, on, off. Like, it just doesn't work great. But that, I would have liked to have it in the Bronco, but I know it's not a great feature right now. Let's see. John says, I built up my Badlands built on a Rubicon, and it was like 10 grand more. Yeah, the Rubicons are getting expensive. What did this one start out at? I can't remember. Let's see. All we've done is add. All right, Jeep, where's your 50 grand? This Rubicon is starting out at 50 grand. And that's a plain Jane Rubicon is what it's showing. I think Ford was smart on some of their, like the Badlands. They definitely kept it about 2 grand cheaper than what Jeep was doing, for a reason, to win sales. But this little effort will piss you off more than anything trying to get one. I don't know about you guys. They will piss you off trying to get one. So let's see what else we got going on here. Jason K. If Ford would have kept the subwoofer and the bass stereo, I really would not need a Lux. I just wanted it to put my money into aftermarket and speaker and amps. Oh, I don't want to put my money into aftermarket and speaker amps. Well, that was another WTF moment. What was it? November. Oh, we're gonna do standard. Here's our standard sound system. It's gonna be a 7-speaker sound system with subwoofer. And then it came out that we can't fulfill those. it's like PR and actual ordering of these parts don't talk to each other, and I don't know who's leading who there. But no, the idea, like the sound system in the Bronco is just awful. I put new speakers in it. I put kicker speakers in the 4-inch. Made a slight difference. I need to do the kick panel speakers, which I've not done yet. I know there's some aftermarket with Amazon who is doing pods. The pods in the back for the 4-inch are doing where you can get a 6-inch speaker back there, which I think would work great. I do know if you use the 4Scan, you can turn on the B&O sound system because it's not, the speakers are exactly the same. Even the 22s now, if you pull a 22 and 23 speaker out of them, they have changed the speaker. Not for, I'm talking about as the whole of Bronco tried to go with a better speaker because they do listen to complaints and they don't want people going, man, these things suck. They want to build a nice vehicle. But yeah, the 4-inch speakers in these things are horrible. And it sucks. Like you'll be in town, guy in a Jeep pulls up, and even in my Jeep, mine's got the 6x9s in above your head. Like you want a little bit of bass, man. Maybe you're going old school, man. You want to throw some rap or whatever you listen to, some kicking country in there. And you want to, you know, you don't want to be annoying at the light, but you're enjoying your music. Like you turn these speakers up right now and you're just like, ugh. And, yeah. Like, you know, my dog's covering his ears because it's such a high pitch, no bass. Let's see. I don't know what Ben's talking or Mr. Healy is talking about there. Positivity Win says, I put speakers in the headrest. Curious about that. Pittsburgh Jim says the wireless charger on my first edition Sport works perfectly fine every time. That is awesome, man. Some of it's case, you know, but I think for like I'm a big Apple guy. I just like the seamless the way it works. Even though I'm on a PC right now, I used to do all this on Apple. PC is just cheaper for my needs, but they the Apples, I know it's a charging. Apple has a proprietary. There's a certain wattage they need versus I think Android is a little bit lesser that'll operate their version. So I don't know which one you have. What's going on in Randy Hughes? Let's see. William says, is there paint protection for the top rear quarter panels to keep the soft top from rubbing it off? Well, you can always, they do. I mean, paint protection is just a film. Now there are kits you can buy. Well, that some shops can buy that are pre-cut so they don't have to worry about wasting material. But no, you can go to any vinyl shop, vinyl wrap shop. They should all do paint protection by now. And yeah, you could have the top of that wrapped, and you'd never notice it. But if you look at old Bronco or old Wranglers, you'll see that they wear there. I mean, it's just kind of the give and take of the style vehicle. Matching specs. Yes. I knew where you were going there, John. Oh, okay. I'm suggesting put speakers in the headrest, but the problem with that is, you know, it's not the highs and mids where the current system loses out. It's there's no bass to these sound systems. Now, I don't recall when I did a first edition review. Obviously, it had everything. I don't recall really turning the radio on that. I guess I should have back then, but it was early on. Nobody really bitching about the radio just yet. But I know with my mid package without that sub back there, it's just, and you crank it. If you ever, I did a review on this. I've got a video on here where I initially talk about that horrible sound system. You push the radio to the back 4-inch speakers, and it sounds worse than an old 80s boombox that you like. It's just all high. Some of that I've been told if you get into with the 4Scan and adjust, basically turn that B&O sound system tuning on, that they sound a lot better. That the way they control the sound is, you know, the signal that it's putting out back there. But I don't know. That's past my want to give a damn. Let's see. What are we talking about here? That's not true. I literally was just waiting with other prospective buyers at a dealership. We all received phone calls telling us that the banks had reopened. Well, maybe. I know what Ford says on that. So sometimes these dealerships, though, I know have, where they've gotten builds that they have just sitting there that nobody's done. So I don't know. Much respect to you for getting one, though. Let's see. William says RBL Lux sounds great. That's nice, man. What kind of music, William? What kind of music are you listening to? I mean, I get funny. I guess if I listen to Bach or something like that, Beethoven all the time, it probably is great. And I'm not poking at you, William, by the way. I'm just sitting here thinking about the way the sound system sounds to me. I know I'm looking at, let me pull this up. Let me be curious see what you guys think about this. Come on, Amazon Prime. Because I've been looking at speakers. I mean, I have. Let's see if I can find it. I have been looking for this. Excuse me. Oh, man. Oh, I have a frozen shoulder, by the way. If you've ever, damn it, that hurt. I had shoulder surgery in 19 on this one. Reconstructed my labrum because it was just completely torn. Now I've got a frozen shoulder on this, and oh my God, just freaking hurts. All right, let's add this to the stream. So this is what I'm actually looking to do. I've not decided on the brand that I want to do, but these I won't say it's a true sub, but these they simulate bass enough that it would be nice. Is these little under the seat, or I mean, I guess you can put them anywhere, but I will put. I don't know if I want to do one or two for under each seat, but these will give us a little bit more bass in our system, because I would love to put what is it? Is it a 10-inch or 12-inch sub that they're putting in the Lux? But you have to put the plastic's different. It's got the vents for the sub. I'd love to do it factory where you didn't see it, but this is probably the best option. This style, anyways, is probably the best option for me. Greg says physical therapy, Dave. I've got Greg. Not that y'all want medical nation here, but so I went and saw my surgeon the other day because I thought honestly I had another torn labrum, and on this side, because as a land surveyor engineer, like my knees shot, my body shot. It's taken a toll on a person. 25 years of it, but I thought, oh man, I've torn this thing again. And he moved my arm around, and I'm having a lot of pain through my biceps and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, that's a frozen shoulder." He wanted to do cortisone in my shoulder, and I'm not a big fan of cortisone, so I was like, "Let's just do an MRI just to be sure." So I have that coming up, but I'll probably get the shot and be happy. But anyways, back to Broncos. This is I like these options a lot. You can, as you can see, you can tune them just a little bit to your needs. Pretty easy to wire up. But there's a lot of options for this stuff, as you can see. Here's these are made for the spare. If you have a car, you put them in the spare tire spot, which is kind of neat. But I can't decide honestly which one I want to go with. And I hate having to, here's a kicker. I just hate having to spend another, I put a couple $100 in speakers. Well, let's see. Or maybe $69 a pair. So maybe not a couple $100. So I put those 4-inch kickers in. I may do something like this, but I just hate spending more money on a damn new vehicle that should sound okay anyways. Let's see. Ash says, I wish the dealership does an extra pay package to fix the damn sub in my Bronco. Is there an issue with your sub? I hadn't heard of many radio issues on these things. The screens, I know there's been a rash of screens that just go blank. I forget who there's a salesman in my chats a lot of times that had an issue. He had to order a whole new radio, and it took him like a month and a half to get or something. It took a long time. Jason says the B&O is really a good factory system. Have it in my F-150 and love it. Yeah, no, I'm not shitting on B&O for it. I think where they had to put the speakers and things, since Ford didn't want to do the sport bar across they wanted that wide opening. Jeep has, I want to say they're 6x9s, maybe. I can't remember. Up there, and they sound good. And it's right kind of above your head. So both parties, front and rear, can enjoy the music. The tiny 4 inches they put in the back of these things, I get why they've done it, because you've already got a spare tire sticking up there. You can't have big speakers sticking up there, but it doesn't help. Let's see. Let's go through here. Mazda, MJO says Mazda had a setup that was awesome with the headrest speakers. I know Nissan played with that with the Jukes. Maybe still the Kicks that you can get speakers in the headrest. Andy says I've had no issues with my B&O. Andy, you'd have to drive your Bronco. How many miles you got on it? Like 4 miles, something like that. But Andy's also a over the road truck driver, so he doesn't get to spend a lot of time with his Bronco. And I say thank you, sir, for delivering freight all across this country. You guys are sometimes not respected enough. But he said he's also an audiophile. I was a traveling musician, so I like my music to sound good. I can barely hear now as is because of being a traveling musician, but what else we got going on? Chris says, I got my 23 bass last week and was shocked to find a sub in it. And congratulations, sir. Congratulations, man. I hope you love your bass. Did you get any kind of did you add Sasquatch package to it? Did you do anything fun to it? Or did you just strictly go, hey, I'm happy with the bass and that's all I need? Because remember, I poke at bass, but if that's what you wanted, get what you want, man. They offer it, get what you want. Do what? From the reflection of the clock behind you, was I looking at Light Bright's only fan page? No. Let's see. On this screen, I've got my All Train Nation face or YouTube main page up. This one I've got Amazon, and this one I have you guys. So no, I do not. I do not look at OnlyFans for Light Bright. We'll say that. But no, the clock is for Supercell. So 86 days till Supercell East kicks in. If you're anywhere around basically the Gatlinburg area, I suggest you go. It's worth the drive. It's a fun, starts Wednesday through Saturday. We will have a booth there. I've been working on some t-shirt design, so I'm trying to have some new stuff for t-shirts. It's not just Bronco related, but channel related. I'm trying to think. We'll have a few new things there, but our Bronco will be on display. If you sit in a Bronco, I don't care what you do to it, man. I had a lot of people act like last year, like can't touch it. No, dude, it's a vehicle. I'm as an auto journalist, though, I will say that I've grown to where vehicles I love. Clearly, we're enthusiasts of Bronco, but I've grown kind of like they're not as precious. I know some people, and I don't bother me if you don't want anybody ever touching your vehicle, because I get it. It's your hard-earned money, but to me, they're just not as precious as they used to be. William says he is next to Gatlinburg. Well, I'm in Murfreesboro, William. Let's see. He meant. Let's see, what else do I have up there? Whatever you guys been looking at. A lot of whiskey back here. So the studio is about to move. We've talked about that. We're moving. We're putting this house up for lease because the market will bear it, and we're gonna move, and so I'm gonna have to tear all this down soon to move the studio. So you'll see new things. Andy, you were in Murfreesboro for a bit, and you bought me and Kelly dinner, and we greatly appreciate that, man. Andy's been a big supporter of us, and I can't say enough nice things about Andy. And he has good taste in whiskey too. So let's see. Chris says cheated stripped down when dealer put their threes on orders while SAS for switches, so I got no options. The switch is like, for me, I've seen some videos about this, people talking about it, and if you like those AUGs, whatever the little AUG switches you can buy, the aftermarket stuff, I think for me, Ford, that was one of the brilliant things that they've done with Bronco was those switches. What is there? 5 or 6 up there? And they're all pre-wired. I love that they did that, man. I hate wiring. I've got ditch lights on my Kelly's Bronco now, and I've got to finish wiring them up. But I love the fact that just a couple wires and bam, right into the fuse block, and I'm done. And it's they're switched up, ready to go. Because I hate running wires into dashes for switches, and so if $160 to have that, if that's the only option, do that option. I'm telling you, because if you're buying a Bronco at some point in your life, you'll want to modify it. And the ability to, if you want to run LEDs, if you want to put a damn Christmas tree of lights up there, I don't care. But the ability to be able to turn them all on and there's factory fuse block, everything ready to go. Yep. Later, Coltrane. There was a rumor going around that they did. So, hey man, get your money if you can get it, I guess. I'd love to talk to Kevin sometime from over there. Kevin's a hell of a driver, man. I don't necessarily agree with how they do things, but it's not my channel to agree with how they do things, and they have a big audience. William says, Og switches, most definitely. Yes. Forgot to order my switches. Now too late with the VIN, $199. Yeah, I know people were buying, like, well, you can buy the Ford switches aftermarket or from Ford. You can, but they're not pre-wired up. And, you know, the way they run it, running those switches from through the pillars down, they have one in the rear for, like, I think the one in the rear is for a higher amperage for probably a refrigerator or something like that. But the ones that are pre-wired out front, I mean, I would pay somebody $199 if they would do that. And I guarantee you somebody would never wire up one of those like that for $199. Yeah. Peugeot is correct. Sometimes try to talk to your dealer on that. Sometimes they can do that. I think with once you get the VIN, you can't change paint code because your VIN reads certain codes. But they might be able to. It would be oh, Andy knows. Me and Andy's talked about Old Light Bright, and he's a fan of theirs, which is, you know. But Andy, and I think I told you that night. I love off-road videos, so I love watching Kevin drive. I'm so proud of you, Dave. Oh man, Andy, but conversations like we had, you know, can shape things. Let's see. So if you guys are on our Patreon or in the membership, you get kind of behind the scenes, you know, where you can talk to us and, you know, shape where you want this show to go sometimes. Let's see. What was the date again for Gatlinburg? Well, 86 days from now. I think it's, let me see. I can pull up my calendar here. I've got it in my calendar. April 19th. April 19th through the 22nd is when Supercell is. Get you know, it's in Townsend, Tennessee, which is about 20 minutes from Gatlinburg or 20 minutes from Pigeon Forge. The drive from Pigeon Forge there is amazing. There is places to stay in Townsend. Me and Kelly got an Airbnb. Got one last year that was a nightmare. It was like something from the 80s that was never been, like most cabins in Gatlinburg, had never been upgraded, but it was a little scary. But no, we this year we did the same thing. Made sure we found a nicer one. So there you go. And if you like old Broncos, there's that event was held together because of old Broncos, and sometimes the older Bronco guys don't always get along with. Well, I won't say they're dicks by any means, but they like to associate with Gen 1s or Gen 2s, whatever. But Gen 6s are taking over these shows, and there's also, me and Kelly will be at the Bronco Invasion, which is sometime in August over there. And I think this is going to be for the East Coast, the Super Bowl of Bronco events. If you want to know aftermarket, I think the first year that the Invasion will be, it's the week before Jeep Invasion, and it's the same people doing it. And the cool thing about it, and then putting those two back to back, is Jeep Invasion has a lot of major aftermarket show up, and I don't mean like the guy working out of his shop. No offense to them, they're doing God's work there, but like BF Goodrich, you're getting the big tire companies that show up for this thing. You're getting major YouTubers. Light Bright was there last year. Matt's Recovery was there last year for the Jeep deal. So you'll see some of those be able to, if it's 2 weeks instead of 1 week, it just makes it even more appealing for major manufacturers to want to park their rigs out there. They have an indoor facility where a lot of cool, I know there was a lot of wheel and tire companies that were there. There was an outdoor, probably have a booth in the outdoor win. I'm trying to partner with Diabolical to do a booth together out there for that, which Diabolical will be at Supercell. So I run their slipstream in the back of mine and love it. And even if Diabolical wasn't on the show, and I would love this product. Let's see. Got to run. Have a great weekend, Jason. Yeah, I need to run too. This has been 2 hours and 17 minutes, and I greatly appreciate your time. Hopefully, I needed to vent. Clearly, you guys needed to vent as well. I feel for anybody, if you're watching this still and you're haven't got your Bronco, I do feel for you guys. I will always be an advocate for you guys because that's what we do. Once again, me and Kelly are auto journalists that love talking about anything. But we're enthusiasts of this little thing called the Bronco 6G, and I want to see everybody enjoy it because we enjoy ours. And so just remember that. Smash that like button for me. Give us a subscribe if you're new. We greatly appreciate it. We do a lot of Bronco content, but we do a lot of everything. So there you go. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, hate to do it, 4-wheel drive, these Broncos, we all love to drive. It's been your All-Terrain Nation. We've been what the fucking Broncos here on the channel. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.